up, no turning back. Turning back.
And across Fiji, welcome back to the Vodafone Arena. Great to have your company for this final session of lifting here at the United Masters Weightlifting Championships. One of the great champions of the Pacific, leading out these talented women. Our final category of the day. It is the women's competition that we're going to see in just a moment. The 35 through 39 age group. And the women are out here, about to be presented to us out on this wonderful competition stage. Jeremy Winnie there from Solomon Islands, who yesterday absolutely smashed a series of world record marks here at the championship, doing the number. Let's take you down to our Master of Ceremonies and speaker to introduce you to our lifters here today. Chantel Bruin then, out of USA, off of the big island of Hawaii, in fact. Clara Demare is representing Australia out of Bathurst in New South Wales. Kylie Sabella from New Zealand, Mount Wanganui. Here's Katie Holmes. Annie Rose Womack representing USA today. Hannah Morgan is representing Australia as well. Got a big rousing reception as well, has Hannah, because she's got a couple of family members in the audience, including her sister, her husband, one of her boys, her best friend, and their son as well. So just interesting as we welcome our lifters, we here at FBC Sports are going to take a little bit of a break. When we come back, these very talented lifters will be doing their thing here today. Looking forward to the competition. 6 lifters in all, 3 or 4 weight categories. We've got 66, 73, 81s, 87s and 87 pluses. Should be very interesting. Hope you can stick around and join us when we come back, when the competition gets going. The Snatch not too far away at this wonderful Vodafone Arena. Join us then.
Referee from Singapore, Tom Liao. Referee from Australia, Rowan Mason. Referee from Fiji, Henry Older. Michael from Papua New Guinea, Nikatula. Timekeeper from New Zealand, Jason Tracker. Technical controller from the Solomon Islands, Jeremy Whitty. And technical controller from Fiji, Ramati Gallagher. Now, comedy doctor is Dr. Yoshi Figueroa from Fiji. Thank you.
Rise up, no turning back. turning back.
FBC Sports and the fantastic Vodafone Arena welcome you all back to competition here. Penultimate day of lifting at the United Masters Weightlifting Championship, and out on the platform shortly will be 6 lifters in the women's competition in the women's 35 through 39 age group. Lifters from USA, Australia, New Zealand, representing the various continents today, and looking forward to it very much indeed. First of our lifters is going to be Katie Harold, as you can probably see in the graphic down there. And before we get started, apologies to those of you online today. Trent Buido, your usual host, I'm afraid is not feeling particularly well, so you're taking the live stream and audio off of FBC Sports, and a very warm welcome to you all. But there will be times when we leave you a little bit, because we have cameras out the back which we like dwelling on. But we will come to that in a moment, because Katie Harold here from Australia, Mackay, out onto the platform. Let's welcome Katie to her first ever international competition, first time ever in Fiji as well, and loving life. 45 kilos is the first attempt for her. She has some considerable experience. She's been in lifting for some 6 years, so that was a nice settler for her. Rumours are from her and her coach there, Dean Callaghan, in the glasses behind, that she's not feeling particularly well and nursing a couple of injuries, but wanted to lift. And you know what iron sport is like. Once it gets you, you can't shake it. And Katie wants to get out here and do a thing. And one of the berserkers going to work here this afternoon, the famous Berserker Club up there in Mackay in Queensland, as you can see for those of you through FBC Sports. And across Fiji, of course, where rugby is king. Some of you may be joining us for the first time seeing an international event. Wonderful that you could. Hope that we can sate your curiosity. Sport of weightlifting is a really multifaceted sport, involves so much more than just simply hoisting huge weights into the air. It involves the drama of the warm-up room, the intervention of the coaches, the condition of the lifters, and the skills of the opposition. And today we're going to see a couple of lifts. The first of them is the snatch, in which the lifter is invited out onto the platform to put a weight directly over their head. No interruption, straight from floor overhead, and meeting a couple of conventions on the way forward. Most notably that their elbows are locked out. And if they are not, then we can have the intervention of the referees, and ultimately also the jury. A jury of 3 sits behind the referees, adjudicating on all things out here on the platform. If they don't like it, they can get involved and they can call it out. So we are looking for 3 white lights, and when we get the 3 white lights, we know that we have a unanimous decision by the referees. 2 to 1 will get the lifter safely off the platform, and 3 red lights means a no lift. They will be invited to lift again. They can go at that same weight, or indeed add a few kilos if they want to. Then later on, after a break, we're going to see the clean and jerk, which is comprised of basically 2 lifts. The clean, which gets the weight off the platform onto the lifter's shoulders, and then the jerk as they move that weight above their shoulders in a move which also requires the elbows to be locked. We'll get to that one in a moment, because Hannah Morgan is going to come out. So this is the first lift from Hannah Morgan, out of the Ipswich Club. So another Queenslander out here today. Big moment for her as well, because she's got some very attentive family members sitting right in the front row watching mum. And I think mum and the kids will be feeling pretty happy, because husband is there, her sister, her best friend is out here as well, her little boy. And so the family, Morgan celebrating Hannah's contribution to the event here with a successful first lift. So I'm sure that's going to help her a lot.
The second attempt, Katie Harrell from Australia.
So Katie Harrell then coming up for her second attempt. Been lifting, as I say, for about 6 years. Another one of these weightlifting devotees, did CrossFit for many, many years, fell in love with the iron sport, weightlifting. Here she is. As I said, feeling it a little bit jet lagged, and also carrying a couple of injuries. So maybe not quite at her best today, but certainly here to support Team Berserker, the club that's made a big commitment to these championships, and all of them absolutely loving what they see here. I mean, this competition arena, this platform, and the quality of the pictures being produced by FPC Sports locally, just unbelievable. And those of you online would love you to see what FPC Sport is doing. But Katie here handling that beautiful overhead shot that we're enjoying in FPC Sports. Load is going a little higher, so it looks like we're going to see Clara Demare come out of the Bathurst Club. Bathurst in New South Wales, home of a very famous motor race in Australia. And in her corner will be Lincoln Hansen, just behind her there with the baseball cap. And I think Drew McTavish as well helping her this afternoon. You might remember saw Lincoln the other day, ex-pilot, who was laid off during COVID and is now slowly working his way around Australia. Ended up at the Marrickville gym there, and continuing his weightlifting career while he waits to get back into an aircraft again. Okay, so here's Kiara. First attempt for her. 53 kilos. Knee on the ground, and for our FBC viewers, a knee on the ground is an automatic disqualification. So unfortunately for Kiara then, who's been such a talisman for the Australian team, she really has. She's been in everybody's corner this week, really offering a great deal of support and helping everybody. So from the very small Bathurst Club in New South Wales, Kiara just going to have to make a technical adjustment there, and I'm sure that Team Demare will be able to do that. I reckon they'll probably take her up. And in fact, as we enjoy these pictures out the back, there's our two Australians deep in concentration. Part of the psychological anguish that weightlifters go through. This moment of destiny awaits them, and this explosive sport erupts in just a matter of seconds sometimes. And the lifters have to keep composure. So there's Lincoln there, just having a bit of a chat to Kiara, who's next up. So as I said, knee down on the platform, automatic dismissal. Interesting there, interesting byplay between she and Katie at the back. And again, our online viewers, apologies, you're not seeing these pictures. Okay, so let's see whether Lincoln has got her into shape for this second attempt. She's done a 62 snatch, that's her best. So this really shouldn't trouble her. She just needs to get this one away. Then I think her natural confidence will get her through the rest of the competition. Needs to get this one, just secure things. Okay, now she's away, and I think my apologies are also due to Katie Harold out the back. I seem to be misnaming her for some reason. I apologize. Katie, to you and your fans back home in Mackay. Okay, so here is Kiara then, getting the 53 away. As I said, in competition, she's done a 62, so I think she just needs that to settle down the nerves. Big competition, big international debut for her. The health worker from Bathurst got one more lift to come. Okay, so Katie Harold then with her final snatch here. It's a 53, so she did the 45 first, went to the 50, not pushing it too hard today, going to the 53. And I just really wonder whether she could have had a crack at the 60, but let's see whether she warms into it in the clean and jerk. So 3 good lifts then for Katie Harold. And Dean Callaghan there, the non-lifting coach from the Berserker Club in Queensland, letting her know that he thought that that was a pretty good effort under the circumstances, and I'm sure Katie will be pretty happy with that. Okay, so we move our attention, FBC viewers, out the back, and we can see that a couple of lifters are beginning to make a move, and the first of them here from Hannah Morgan then, from Ipswich, coming out for a 54. This is going to get within one of her all-time records. Started off as a power lifter, fell in love with weightlifting a couple of years ago, and here she is representing Australia at the Masters in Fiji. Gets that under control, looking for the reaction from the front row. Cameras, telephones, applause from family Morgan. They're pretty wrapped with mum out there, so she's doing her thing. Believes earnestly in the contribution that this sport, weightlifting, can make to health and well-being. And of course, a number of the masters are dedicated to that philosophy as well. Healthy lifestyle, and looking to improve her lift as well. Basically the fundamental motivation. Okay, Hannah Morgan looks like she's going to follow herself. 55. Looks like there's a little bit of attention to this weight coming from a couple of the Americans. You have to see them. Chantel Bruin, living in Hawaii, the American, going to come out pretty soon, not just yet. And Kylie Sabalo as well, out of New Zealand, yet to make a move as well. Kylie lifting in the 81s this afternoon. So Kiara then coming out for her 3rd snatch at 56. Also one of these CrossFit graduates. It's amazing the number of women that are lifting these days that have a background in CrossFit. And we're also seeing a remarkable transition from a number of swimmers and gymnasts as well, I've noticed in the last year or so, transitioning across into weightlifting. The iron sport, it is so alluring. Nice. Figured that once she got that 53 underway, she would get a little bit of confidence back, and I think she has. So that's a nice 56. Looking pretty happy about life now. That's a nice smile. So Drew McTavish out the back with her as well. And also working in the corner this afternoon is Lincoln Hansen. So that's a nice snatch for her. 56, not as big as she has lifted, but certainly I think under the circumstances, a nice settler. Gives her a chance now to think about the clean and jerk, and she might be able to attack a couple of numbers in the next stanza of the competition. So Hannah Morgan then with 56 on the bar. So this I think is what she has been strategizing about, because this is a PB attempt here. 3rd lift, PB for Hannah. I reckon she's going to get it. I think she'll be pretty happy when she does, and she gets us a 2-to-1. I was a little bit worried there for a moment, but she gets it a 2-to-1 majority lift. So Hannah also just warming up into her work, so she too now can just reflect on the last 20 minutes or so, and I'm sure she'll be feeling a lot better. The nerves, and if there's any performance anxiety, probably extinguished, and away she goes. All right. We're back out the back again. So you can see that a number of the coaches just moving into the marshals table. And there they have set out a 58 for this lifter, Chantel Bruin. Chantel representing USA, but lives on the big island of Hawaii. So that's a nice start for Chantel. I reckon she'll be feeling pretty happy about that. And the Hawaiian team here, I mean, they've been on fire. Absolutely brilliant all week. Nice work. Great receive position, driving up with that leg power of hers. And another one of the CrossFit graduates, started off in CrossFit, and a year ago came to the Iron Sport. And here she is representing Team USA in her first ever international. So Chantel standing by. It looks like we're getting a little bit of a move here as well by Kylie Sabalo of New Zealand. Kylie looking like she wants to get involved as well, and I reckon we'll see her in just a moment. See what Chantel does for a second. If she goes high, it might bring the New Zealander out. Okay, Chantel going to 62. Okay, Chantel then standing by for her second attempt, and if this is the case, just getting notice that this is going to equal her competition best ever. Clock is ticking down on Chantel from the beautiful big island of Hawaii. She loves the pace of the big island. Just a little bit away from the rush and roar of our usual notion about what life in Hawaii is like. And a big thumbs up as well, I'm sure, for her son, Kuali, who's back in Hawaii. And Kuali, your mum, very proud of you, and hope that you're enjoying the pictures streaming to you across the Pacific today. From all of us here in Suva, hope you're having a super day out there in Hawaii. Wonderful lifting, so that's really good for her. So she's equaling her best ever snatch in competition. And remembering this is her first ever major competition as well, so she's doing extremely well. She'd have to be thrilled with that. Former swimmer. Got into her CrossFit and now just punching out some good numbers here in an international weightlifting masters event. Very, very good style and nice technique there. Okay, so the Kiwi then is out. This is Kylie Sabalo. Her first attempt, as you can see in the graphic, is 63. She's competed in New Zealand at a number of levels. This is her first international outside of New Zealand. Nice start for her. So Kylie competing in the 81 class. She's alongside of Katie Harrell from Australia. And that's a nice opener for her as well. So that's a good starter for Kylie at 63. So she has 2 lifts remaining in this category, and Chantel from Team USA has the 1. I reckon Chantel will probably have a crack at a minimum of 65 as we see Kylie get her first lift happening. And the boys are pretty happy from Team New Zealand. We can see that Johan Handvik is over there with Lily Koffer with the headset on. So it looks like the New Zealanders are probably going to go higher. Normally at 65, reckon the Kiwis are going to go high here. Again, our pictures are out the back for those of you on the international stream. And there's a couple of New Zealanders just moving in and around that Marshall's table at the moment. And I think the Hawaiians are moving in for a little bit of a discussion as well. Kylie at the back, yeah, so there are a couple of changes coming for those of you online. Okay, so Chantel Brennan is going to go higher with a 65. No, she's going higher. Okay, so it's a little bit of nip and tuck at the moment. The loaders are going to be busy because Kylie, the New Zealander, is going to come out at 66 now. Means that the American lifter, Chantel, going to go higher to 67. Okay, no, the Kiwis are coming back. So there's a little bit of a battle here between the American and the New Zealand camps. It looks like the Americans have got the call on the New Zealanders. She's going to come out first with her 67. This is the second attempt by the New Zealand lifter, Kylie Sabalo here. And she's getting pretty close to what I reckon would be probably a 70 for her today. Let's see if she can get there with this. The second lift, 67. Okay, so that opens up a little bit. Andy Jemison in front of picture there, who lifted extremely well the other day for the New Zealand team, and Johan Handwerk is there, going to go to work on Kylie. The two of them have been stalwarts for Team New Zealand all week, those two, they really have. And just leaving that one a little bit short, just needs probably to be a little bit more aggressive underneath the bar. Just leaving it short and dropping it down. That was her 67. Okay, 67 put down by the New Zealander. Let's see whether Chantel can do this. And if she does, she's putting a few kilos on her best ever lift. 5, in fact. Wow. She's in good form and she is doing extremely well. So there's a big PB there, and I think Team USA will be pretty happy with that. Chantel as well, looking good. Warm-up went well. So the Hawaiian team, or the American team, in good shape at the moment. And Chantel there doing extremely well in her 66 class this afternoon here in Suva. Again, for those of you online, we're getting multiple replays of that lift here on FBC Sports. It is, as one of the New Zealanders came up to me earlier on today and said he'd never seen anything like it, and he wanted to commend the FBC Sports crew for the work that they're doing. Okay, Kylie is out then, her final attempt. She too will have a crack at the 67. That's it. A little bit more aggression. Got in there and got out of that squat position really nicely. Just moved it. And very interesting. Just how thinking and delivery can be just slowed up by milliseconds under competition conditions. It really is sometimes a sport of just millimeters. And if you don't get things right in weightlifting, it can make a serious difference to success or failure. Okay, well, yet to see one competitor, and she's going to have the platform to herself. And this is Annie Rose Womack. And she's going for a World Masters record straight off. So she must have warmed up extremely well, because she's going for a world record mark immediately. She'd initially nominated a 70, but she's come out with a 73. World record mark here by the American Annie Rose Womack. lifting in the 87 category. A very, very good weightlifter. Okay, there it is. So this could be a very interesting afternoon. A fantastic record for her. So Annie Rose Womack off to a flyer. That's a world record mark with her first lift. And as I said, it was last night that we saw generally Winnie from Solomon Islands and Dikator from Papua New Guinea do exactly the same, lift after lift, setting world record marks. And I wonder whether Annie Rose Womack can do the same here, lifting in the 87 category. Super lifting by her. And again, our FBC Sports coverage seeing a series of wonderful slow-mo replays of this particular lift. And Coach Casey Knuth in the corner there, baseball cap on, very, very supportive. So Annie Rose alone out on the platform now with 2 lifts to go. There she is. And there's an interesting connection between her and her coach and the Pacific, because Coach Casey Knuth here hooked up with Maddie Sasser out of the Marshall Islands last year and coached her to Olympic qualifying. And he did that by beating the Australian Kiana Elliott. And if my memory is right, it was by the barest of kilograms. In fact, I think it was just one that Maddie Sasser got through to Paris over the Australian. I can be corrected on that. Maybe there's a couple of statisticians out there that want to do that. But yeah, so there's an interesting connection then between this lifter out of Illinois in the USA and us out here in the Pacific. It's courtesy of her coach, Casey Knuth. Team Variant traveling well at the moment. So 2 lifts to come in this competition. So now an attempt at her own record. She's put 4 kilos on it. She's coming out at 77 to break the record she set just moments ago. Wow, absolutely incredible. And for those of you back home in Libertyville, Illinois, if you are watching this and Team Variant, the club, boy oh boy, you're covering yourselves in glory at the moment, courtesy of your lifter here. We're a little bit in awe at the moment. Annie Rose Womack just smashing out these big numbers here at the Masters, and one record falls and she comes up and breaks it again with a nice 77. So 2 consecutive World Masters marks within the space of 2 lifts. Can she make it 3? There's the man of the moment. As I said, an interesting link with Maddie Sasser, an outstanding lifter from the Marshall Islands, who flirted at one stage with representing the USA and went back to mainland USA, where she continued her weightlifting. In the end, she decided that she wouldn't. She'd come back. She's a proud Marshallese, and it was for Marshall Islands that she lifted at the Olympic Games. And this guy, Casey Knuth, was Knuth, who was the guy that helped orchestrate that with Maddie Sasser's husband. And here he is at work here with Annie Rose Womack, engineering what is an absolutely powerful display of weightlifting in the women's competition 87 here. So just indicating to Lily Coffer at the back, and apologies again to our online viewers. You're not seeing some of the pictures that the award-winning FBC Sports coverage is getting. But Annie Rose looking very confident. Got a beautiful profile shot of her out here on our cameras, and she's looking pretty happy with life at the moment. earbuds in place and totally relaxed with what her coach Casey Knuth is doing. She's going 80, but I reckon that might just be to suck in a few deep breaths. I reckon they're going higher. Yes, they are by the looks. Over at the marshal's table, they're going higher. They're putting another one on it. So here she comes, roar the crowd, people beginning to realize what she's done here. Consecutive world record marks here at the United Masters. 73 to 77 and now to 81 to smash her 2 previous marks. Just missing it. Just missing it. No lift then. So, but consolation in 2 fantastic lifts there by this wonderful lifter out of the Team Variant Club in Libertyville, Illinois. A 73 to 77. This 81 that we're just reviewing at the moment, she powers it up, gets out of the squat position, but just misjudges it. A little backwards, tries to adjust, can't, tries to run it forward, can't, and down goes the weight. So 81 clatters to the platform, but 77 and 73 safely secured by this great lifter. She's away and she's flying. She's got World Masters marks against her name already in the space of 2 lifts. And this guy in picture at the moment feeling pretty happy with the trip down here to Suva and Fiji. What else can she do? Well, we'll find out when we come back after the break, because then the women in this class will be going hard out in the clean and jerk competition. We're at the midway point of the women's 35 through 39 age group. We'll take a break. Join us soon.
turning back. Rise up, no 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 turning back.
And live from the Vodafone Arena here in beautiful Suva on this Thursday afternoon, we're into the final stanza of competition in this women's competition here at the United Masters World Championships. It's the 35 through 39-year-old age group, and the big headline from the snatch competition is the work of Annie Rose Womack at the end of that first snatch competition with two fantastic lifts, a 73 snatch followed by a 77, both of them world record marks. The 73 she came out with just blitzed the competition, and then went on and did a 77 to improve her own world record mark. Pretty amazing lifting by the American out of Libertyville, Illinois. But we'll catch up with her in just a moment. Clean and Jerk about to get underway, and Katie Harold from the Berserker Club up in Mackay in Queensland coming out here now to get this element of the competition underway. And for those of you viewing through FBC, Clean and Jerk, the two components, the clean, which is that lift, and the jerk, which is that lift. And of course, those of you here in Fiji, heart of rugby union territory, and probably more lately a little bit of rugby league as well, I dare say. Maybe new to this sport, and great that we can bring you along and introduce you to the drama and the physicality of this extraordinary sport, Olympic weightlifting, the iron sport we call it. And Katie here getting things underway with that 55. She's done a lot more in the past, but she is not travelled here particularly well, and nursing a couple of injuries, but wanted to support her Berserkers club mates. 7 of them from the club are up here, 4 of them are lifters, and the other 3 are assisting. Dean Callaghan is one of them. He's the non-lifting coach, who we'll get a view of in the moment. Quickly on the subject of this wonderful competition as well, can we certainly take a moment to congratulate the Fiji Sports Council and the Fiji Sports Commission for putting this together. I mean, it's jaw-droppingly good competition. Last week we had the Commonwealth Championships. Now this week we've got the Masters. It has been absolutely stupendous what they have done, and the broadcast has been fantastic. And our sponsors, of course, Coca-Cola Events Plus, Digicel, Fiji Water, Pacific Building Solutions, who built this amazing platform out here as well. Shipping services, and as I say, the Fiji Sports Council and Sports Commission have got to be congratulated. The investment in the future for Fiji, absolutely stunning. And what we saw at the Commonwealth Championships last week by this Fiji team, Henry Elder, who was a referee out on the main platform this afternoon, and his wife as well, just doing absolutely amazing things. Della Shaw, his wife, of course. Congratulations to them. We saw a Commonwealth record fittingly going to the great Fiji lifter as well, Taniela Langbonga, on the final day of competition. Fantastic, and so appropriate that he should end up with a Commonwealth record. Okay, so let's get on with the competition. 60 kilos now for Hannah Morgan here with the family in the front row, absolutely besotted by what Mum is doing out here on the big platform. She's going for 60 as an opener. Looks pretty handy. Looks like she's going to get it, and if she does, that means a total, means a competition complete. 2 more lifts to come for her. Katie Harold then. First ever international, first time in Fiji, loving life out here, can't believe what she's seeing. 60 kilos, second attempt. Looking good at that, well below her best, but as I say, a couple of injury niggles for her here today. Dean Callaghan about to cross-check, there he is. So the Berserkers doing their thing here. Some replays there. Handling this weight pretty well. Not terribly stressed by that. So it looks like Katie's probably going up a little bit. so must be feeling a little bit better. And as we enjoy the pictures from out the back here on FBC Sports, just a reminder that that Marshall's table that Lily Coffer is controlling at the moment is where the coaches nominate their lift requirements, and she, courtesy of the headset that you can see that she's wearing, communicating that out to front of house, where those lifts are then stacked in sequence, and the lift is called to the platform. So they have called Hannah Morgan here for a second attempt at 64. Well, she's looking strong, and I reckon with her background in powerlifting and the inspiration of the family, and Udu Henny there from Papua New Guinea giving her a little bit of assistance here this afternoon, I reckon the Ipswich club member could probably have a little bit of a crack, or she might think about a crack at a best ever clean and jerk at 68. She and her husband, owner and directors of Super Pete's Painting and Decorating. So if you're up there in Ipswich and you're watching the stream, say hello to the pair of them and say that you saw her making history for the Morgan family here in Suva, Fiji today. So Katie Harold going to finish off her first ever visit in terms of weightlifting internationals to Fiji with this final lift of 65. Nice clean work at the end of the day, and 6 from 6 from her then, so she completes the day's work, not at her best, but nevertheless a nice series of green against her name throughout the day. So Dean Halligan there, coach from the Berserkers, and Mackay, I'm sure, celebrating a great international debut by Katie here, who is determined, she says, to do better when she recovers from a couple of niggling injuries which have been compromising her. And yes, I thought that she might, and just as she did in the snatch when she went out and broke her all-time best snatch record with that 56, here she comes, Hannah Morgan, with an attempt on her best ever clean and jerk. And she is going to be very happy, because she's got 3 white lights, the family's thrilled, and they know that they've got a wonderful holiday in prospect, because as she celebrates with the PNG lifter Udi Henny there, and the embrace of the 2 who've helped her this week. She and the family are off for a wonderful holiday here in Fiji. I think they're heading out to the Plantation Resort. And congratulations to her. So fantastic lifting. Well done. Okay, so one Aussie is done and dusted, and she's off on holiday now with the family. Kiara is out here now. The former Czech, now an Australian resident, been living out in Australia for about the last 10 years. And calls Bathurst, New South Wales, her home. And Aussies, of course, associate Bathurst with a pretty famous motor race, which makes its home up on the wonderful Bathurst mountain every year. But Kiara here is here for another battle at 74 kilos. Looks good. So I think that once she got that problematic 53 snatch out of the way, she just soothed the nerves a little bit, and she looks to be really enjoying herself out there now. That's what it's all about. And standing coach Lincoln Hansen there, the pilot, so happy with that clean, as you can see. And just look at the relaxation once she realizes she got this safely stowed. Very happy with life. Good lift. So another one of these crossfitters that came across to the iron sport, fell in love with weightlifting, and can't get enough of her Olympic weightlifting. I think she's got a couple of youngsters at home as well watching mum. So hi Ruben and hi Junie. You're inspiring your mum today. Hope you're enjoying life out there in Bathurst, and mum says hi. Okay, on to Chantel. Did extremely well. Went through and smashed a couple of her PBs on the way through to that 62 snatch. 75 clean and jerk to start her off. Nice composure under the bar, nothing too rushed. So she's got a couple of her other lifters, Ryan and Chris alongside her. So Chantel's going to go higher. Kiora coming out for her second at 77. I wonder whether her best ever at 82 is under threat here this afternoon. I reckon if she gets this one comfortably, she could have a crack at it. It'd be a nice way for her to polish her first ever international competition as well. Loves Fiji, wants to come back and see more of it once the weightlifting competition is done. Kiara gets it, so the health worker from Bathurst in New South Wales walks off the platform. She's done the job on that little number. So now then for her, she asks herself a question. Do I feel brave or do I feel brave? Because the 77 here, not quite on a red line yet, but getting close. Nice lift. Lifting in the 73s, so she's competing against herself essentially. Comes nicely out of that squat, clean, good. Thinks about it for a moment, then gets to work underneath the bar here. A momentary hesitation, was just wanting to go marginally forward, but again, that adjustment as we look on FBC Sports at an overhead, which gives us a wonderful perspective of what she's doing to adjust that bar. Okay, so while Kiara contemplates the possibility of a big jump for her third and a possible crack at her all-time best clean and jerk, Chantel is out here for her second at 80. She's looking pretty comfortable. She's in pretty good nick. So Chris and Ryan from Team Hawaii stroke USA. And everybody's smiling on the American team at the moment, and they should be, because Chantel here, I reckon, is getting within striking distance of a PB as well. So both she and Kiara have some thinking to do. Okay, well, Kiara's decided to go the 80. Wants to finish off with a nice 80 here. The Australian team love it. They roar her home, and Lincoln Hansen there, absolutely thrilled. So too is Kiara. So she's thrilled with what's gone on here. Her competition is done, and what a fantastic debut for her here in Fiji. International competition, I tell you what, if she's got the Iron Sport bug after today and this lift, she's going to be loving life even more. Look at the thrill of that. That is just poetic. Beautiful work. Okay, Kiara away with that nice lift then. 80 kilos for her. It's a 5 out of 6 day for her, a 136 total. So let's bring it on then to Chantel. Theoretically our next lifter. Yet to see the New Zealander, Kylie Saballo, and also yet to see the American, Annie Rose Womack. And wonderful scenes here as the Australian celebrates and farewells us all here in Fiji. So Chantel then, not too far away, nor is this lifter in picture. This is Kylie Saballo. Mount Maunganui, beautiful part of the world up on that North Island near Tauranga in New Zealand. But we'll get back to Kylie at the moment and her beautiful part of the world, because I tell you what, Chantel doesn't live in a too shabby an address either on the big island of Hawaii. Been lifting for 1 year and here she is with 87 out on the bar, and this is a PB by 2. Hasn't done this before ever in competition. Just a little bit curious. I've got a slightly oblique view here. They've got it, given it to her, so that is fantastic. So she comes away from the competition with a big PB by 2 and embraces her temporary coaching staff. So the Hawaiian team here, or Team USA, again knocking it out of the park here, and everybody absolutely thrilled. They've done so well. That's 5 out of 6 for her. A big PB 87 finishes off her competition here this afternoon in Suva for a 149 total. And again, this is masters lifting. I mean, it's all about empowerment, and it's about lifestyle, and it's about health and well-being. And boy, what a wonderful example of that Chantel is, as is this lady, Kylie Saballo out of New Zealand. 89 for her starter. Well, you can see why she and her team won a silver medal at the Oceanias in New Zealand earlier on this year, and why she finished in second place at the Worlds in New Zealand last year as well. She's got some form, and Kylie going hard out here, so that was a nice starter for her. As I said, Mount Maunganui, Tauranga in New Zealand.
90 kilograms, first attempt for Annie Rose Womack, USA. So we still need 90.
So 90 on the bar. Thought we might see the American Annie Rose Womack, who smashed a couple of world records in her first snatches about half an hour ago. Team New Zealand making a little bit of a move. They want more, so as they go higher, that's Johan Hardvink there knocking up the weights for Kylie. We're waiting to see Annie Rose Womack come out. Okay, Annie Rose Womack now. Wow, this is fantastic. So just listening into Michael Noonan, who is our MC here this afternoon. He is the Oceania statistician, knows all things numbers in this part of the world. And Womack, when she comes out with her opening lift of 93, will be attempting a new world record mark. Snatch. Okay, so they're going hammer and tong, these two. So it's New Zealand USA battle at the moment. They're in different weight categories, of course, but it's just livening things up here a little bit at the moment. So Annie Rose Womack coming out in the 87 class this afternoon. If she gets this, this is another world record mark for her. Was going to come out at 90, but she's coming out at 93, so she's going straight to the world record mark. Clean and jerk. Oh, beautiful work overhead, beautiful straight lines, absolutely fantastic. Coach Casey Knuth there celebrating a world record with her opening lift. 93 kilos, and just comes out and bangs out another world record mark. She did it in the snatch with a 73, then broke that at 77, put down the 81, but she's come out here with a 93 and smashed it. Look at that as we relive it in slow-mo here on FBC Sports. Okay, so Annie Rose celebrating. I'm sure Team Variant back home in Libertyville, Illinois will be celebrating as well if they're watching this online. And a good afternoon from you here in Suva, Fiji. But we've got Kylie out here at the moment, a very handy lifter as well in her first ever overseas international for New Zealand. 93 kilos for her. Oh, nice work. So the Kiwis in the crowd, and there's a number of them exhorting her to big things. Adam Jemison there, who's been keeping a bit of an eye on her, or Andy Jemison, I should say. He too broke a couple of world marks earlier on in the week. And the Kiwis pretty happy with what they're seeing here from Kylie. Comes off the platform, that nice pull into that squat position. And then this nice drive overhead. Dip and up, snaps out the elbows. No suggestion of any problems there, no intervention by the referees or the jury, so that's a good lift for her. So the American then out the back, Annie Rose going higher. New Zealand's Carly Sabello going to match her as well with a 95 in her division. So the two women here neck and neck. Annie Rose lifting in the 87s and Kylie lifting in the 81s. Okay, so this is a record equaling, so she's asked for 95, which equals the world record mark for this lifter. So if they pop another one on, they've gone 96. So this is a new world record attempt then in her weight category. These two women are just knocking it out of the park here at the moment. So Carly Sabello here with a final lift of the competition, a 96. This is a world record attempt here in her weight division. 96 kilos on the bar. She's never lifted this in competition before. Off the floor. Clean okay. Speed. Just off it. Just off it. Very close. A beautiful clean. Nearly had it. And I think the Kiwis thought that she did as well for a moment. Not to be, alas, but it was a world record attempt here by this lifter from New Zealand. Ended up with some very good placings when she turned out for New Zealand earlier on this year. Would have to be very happy with that. And with the New Zealand Masters just a month or so away, watch out for this lifter. I reckon she's going to do some damage in her categories for sure. Okay, so with Kylie wrapping things up there, absolutely going red line on that big 96. So again, another World Masters record here. She's set it already at 93, so she's going to break her own record now with a second attempt at 98. too much. So her record stands at 93 at the moment. 98, they've taken 5. She's got a moment or two to recover now. So this is where the coach steps up. Analysis, reset, and we get a chance to look at this in slow-mo. So the clean came up okay. Didn't hang around, got cracking pretty quick. Jerk is there. I'd like to have a look at the overhead actually. Here's an oblique view that we're looking at FBC Sports. Again, the clean is fine, looks good. Yeah, that extension just not quite there. A little bit more speed, I think. Just that dip and under. She just needs to just smarten it up a little bit. Easy for me to say. I haven't got 98 kilos over my head. But boy, oh boy, she's looking good. That jerk. And for those of you at home on FBC Sports, what she's trying to do here is once she's got up after that clean and she's standing vertical, she's looking for a little dip. Gets underneath the bar, then drives, drops, and then receives, splits, and up she goes. That's essentially what she's trying to do. So there's this sort of series of movements that she's trying to undertake, while at the same time trying to keep that bar going vertical in a straight line upwards. She doesn't want it to deviate either forward or backwards, because if it does, at this sort of weight, she's going to lose control of it. The idea is to keep that bar going straight up. Okay, she's already got a world record. This is her last lift, and will bring it to a close. This fascinating women's 35 to 39 category that we've seen here this afternoon in wonderful Suva. It would be a fitting finish if she could set this world record mark, break her own world record mark with this 98. That's it. This time she got it. And I tell you what, her coach is pretty happy with that, and she is as well. Wow, even the cap comes off. So Team USA celebrating 2 fantastic world marks here in the clean and jerk to this lifter. That after she smashed the snatch, firstly with a record-breaking 73, then she broke that again with a second lift at 77. And over to Team USA she comes and her fellow competitors. And then in the clean and jerk, she was absolutely stunning. Comes away with that big opener, 93 for the world record mark. And then this lift that we're living in slow-mo here at FBC Sports. And just a beautiful correction as well underneath the weight. As she just gets in underneath, just speeds it up a little bit. And drives it up, locked out beautifully, smashes it down, 98 kilos. Thank you very much indeed. Masters lifting at its best here in Fiji. It's a privilege to bring you these fantastic pictures on FBC Sports. And fittingly, the great man, Bruce Springsteen in the background, heralding a fantastic afternoon of lifting. Has been fantastic. We're going to take a short break here as we survey the scene, and we'll invite our wonderful lifters and the women's 35 through 39 back out onto the podium, and we will garland them with their medals. Join us after the break here on FBC Sports.
turning back.
In Suva, Fiji, we welcome you back to the wonderful Vodafone Arena for the medal ceremony in the women's 60, or I should say 35 through 39 age group bracket. We are going to garland our lifters after their endeavours here this afternoon. We saw some fabulous lifting, particularly by that lady who just walked through our camera shot, and world record marks. We like them. But we like the whole notion of masters weightlifting as well, because it's speaking to the issue of lifestyle, self-improvement, and also health and well-being. But some wonderful, wonderful lifts here this afternoon, and also probably fitting that this man comes up on stage to acknowledge the lifters here this afternoon. Henry Elder, who's done so much to build an extraordinary young Fiji team that we're going to be seeing so much from over the next couple of years, particularly as we head towards Glasgow. But this young lady out of Hawaii and representing USA today in a class of her own in the women's 66, and she did extremely well, and absolutely thrilled to receive her gold medal.
Now we move on to the 73 kilogram category. 73 kilogram category. Now, gold medalist from Australia,
Chiara Demare here, and what a great afternoon she had as well. She's been, as I said, such a great help to the Australian team all week, always in their corner there to assist and help, and now she is up on the victory dais. A gold medal for her in the 73s. Congratulations to her.
Silver medalist from Australia,
Katie Harold then, out of the Berserker Club up in Mackay in Queensland. Not quite up to her usual high standard, but wonderful that she's here. Part of the 7-strong group from the club out of Mackay. And she in silver medal position behind this young lady, who this afternoon was also a class act. Had a crack at a world record mark in her division in the 81s. Just eluded it. Got the clean away with 96, but just had to drop it down. Super afternoon, and we're going to see a lot of her as well. And as I said, next we'll see her at the New Zealand Masters. What is it, in October, I believe? Probably in Auckland, I think. Okay, let's swing around, have a look at our winners here. And in a class of our own here today, all the way from Libertyville, Illinois, team variant, celebrating a great victory here by this young lady who today put on a master class. A couple of world record marks with consecutive lifts in the snatch of 73, 77, then the mighty 93, and then she came out and did, with that last big lift of hers, the 98, for another world record mark. Incredible lifting. Congratulations to her and her coach, Casey Knuth, as well. As I said, with connection through Maddie Sasser to us here in the Pacific as well. Okay, and finally then, and in front of her adoring family and fans, and all of them heading off to the wonderful plantation island shortly, and there's the wave to them and acknowledging the family who have been such great support to Mum. The gold medal for Hannah Morgan there. So as is the tradition here at Vodafone Arena, our lifters come forward for their photo opportunities. Fans, mums and dads, team members come in and around and celebrate what's been a great afternoon of Masters weightlifting. The 35 through 39 age group is done, and as we leave them in the hands of their adoring fans and family, from us here at Vodafone Arena, we're going to bid you a very good afternoon, and may we invite you back for our final day of Masters weightlifting. That is tomorrow. We'll be on the air from 12 noon here in Suva, and we hope that you can join us for what's going to be a wonderful final day here at the United Masters Weightlifting Championships. On behalf of FBC Sports, I'm Brendan Telfer. Have a super evening and afternoon. Goodbye.
Rise up, don't turn it down.